Oops. Okay, ready, guys?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What is going on?
Not much. Glad to be back for the season finale.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys today?
Oh, we're doing fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Try not to die from laughter today. This is going to be one hell of a ride. For those of you who have not watched the third episode, Jordan is making a return of the King sort of meme.
I like to pretend I am.
So, Jordan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
So I have a podcast with my brother, and sometimes his wife joins us, called Some Idiots Rambling. It's been a little bit since we've recorded, but we're in transition of figuring out how to do video as well. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, and Apple Podcast, and also on Twitter at rambling_idiots.
Sweet. And Brendan, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Awesome. So first of all, Jordan, I commend you for trying to make videos work. It's such a freaking pain. But my podcast is called Talk Ag to Me. It's all about agriculture and food. So ag is short for agriculture. I've had a surprising amount of people confused by that, which I don't really understand why, but I guess it's just it is what it is. My podcast is all about bringing people on that don't really know about where their food comes from and teaching them a thing or two. And as boring as it sounds, we have a lot of fun. We relate farming to video games, movies, pop culture kind of stuff, all in an attempt to try to bring conversations about food back into mainstream conversations. And so we have a lot of fun over there. I'm actually looking at my schedule right now, and I think I have enough episodes to get me through the rest of the year now. So I'm got some big plans for next year that I'm working on right now. But yeah, it's been a good ride so far.
Holy crap! For the rest of the year?
Yeah, no, I've been bulk recording quite a bit lately.
Damn.
I'm a little jealous.
Me too.
Believe me, I for most of summer I was trying to get guests together so I could do this, and it just was not happening. And I had friends that were like, "Oh yeah, I'm bulk recorded through the next 2 years." I'm like, Jesus, how are you guys getting this many guests? And I'm finally good for the rest of 2020, but I still have to get more guests for next year now.
Well, you're on track, is what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sitting pretty now.
Yeah. All right. Well, now it is time to get into the fun games. For the audience, we're going to be playing Slide Ride. If you don't know what it is, it's a game where I give them a Google Slides presentation. They have to present it no matter what's on it, except this time, because it's a special episode, they're going to be presenting it together, and it's going to be a little longer. So are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good, because you have no choice.
We're in it now.
Here for the long haul.
All right. So, I forgot to put.
Oh, come on, man.
You know what? You know what?
My name is blank now.
Yeah. Okay. Just pretend that it says your name. Go ahead, guys.
Alrighty, guys. We're here to show you fun activities for the family. I'm Jordan, and joining me is Brendan.
Hi, I'm...
Go ahead.
And we're here to give you a great presentation today.
Yeah.
Quite a long name. Maybe I think he was performing it in sign language is what that was.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Brendan. I don't know about you, but when I'm with my family, I don't like anything more than some extreme sports and a little team activities. So, we go ahead and gather our segways as you do. And get your nearest airsoft rifle and head out onto the field.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I gotta say, Segway Airsoft is almost as fun as a hoverboard archery tag, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to trying that yet, but I'll get the kids and the wife together and we'll head on out.
It's a good time. Recommend it. Definitely want to wear your cup though.
Good recommendation.
So as you can see here, maybe you're sitting at home and you can't go outside because the entire world is shut down. There's always another escape, especially if there's a lizard walking next to you. I usually like to go into another reality as well. So I'll pop into my good old VR headset and I'll be sitting on a beach somewhere or in a forest. And oh yeah, I guess my family is there too. I guess that's kind of important to our presentation.
Yeah, I mean, me and my family, we are just extreme heads. And we threw on the VR goggles and we were sitting right next to the Nuremberg Ring in Germany, watching the cars go through the tight corners, slipping and sliding. You can't beat that. Opened up the window, got a nice draft going. It was like the real thing.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely, I prefer my vacation sites in VR, but I can appreciate a good action thrill too. Maybe take them to a horror house, just see what happens.
It's a lot cheaper.
It is. Well, $300 for a few experiences, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to Disneyland for free with some VR goggles.
That's true. That is true. That's what I'm gonna tell my girlfriend from now on.
There you go. I also feel like it is important to be well traveled. So I can't recommend enough to go to the DNZ in North Korea. And I mean, the president himself can't recommend it enough. I mean, he is just shredding that DNZ like no other with his skateboard.
Oh yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but I think that learning from other cultures is definitely a fun thing to do. I know that whenever I get the opportunity, I go over to Japan and I teach them how to shoot guns. It's always a fun time, and it's always nice when we can have like these cross cultural conversations, and our world leaders can do the same by bonding over our classic traditions.
Right. Thanksgiving and guns.
That's right. So if you're anything like me, I'm personally not a big fan of rainy days, but there's a variety of things that you can do inside that are allowing you to get away from all of this weather that I'm not experiencing because I'm in California, and we don't know what rain is. But I'm a big fan of board games. I play Monopoly, Scrabble, chess. My roommates and I are. My roommates and I are a big fan of playing poker every night, so that's always fun. Sometimes I like to kick it up a notch, and I'll just jump behind the couch, and when they're not looking, I'll just shoot them in the back of the head, and then we'll just we'll.
It sounds so bad to everybody who can't see this.
I don't enjoy anything more than waking up a nice Sunday morning, getting the airsoft guns out, and just going to town with the neighbors. And I don't know, but nothing caps off a night better than watching a family-friendly movie.
Ooh.
I would say like Pulp Fiction is in there. Kill Bill. I mean, all the Tarantino movies, obviously.
Tarantino's just
some family fun.
Yeah, Tarantino's a fantastic family movie guy. He's just he really knows how to appeal to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're ever, maybe it's too hot inside and your AC doesn't work, you could always just like, turn your bathtub on and then just never check on it, and then boom, indoor swimming pool. It's that simple.
Is
Right.
it?
And I mean, it's even better if you're on the third floor of the apartment building. It drains itself. It's not even your problem after a while.
Oh yeah, and like you get some angry complaints for a little while, but I mean, really, they should be thanking us because we're making it rain in their apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and it creates a nice atmosphere.
I mean, it's just basic trickle down economics.
Right.
And
Sometimes I'm gonna let you take this one.
all right. Well, uh, sometimes you just got to take the pet giraffe inside into obviously the living room with the vaulted ceilings, because obviously he's tall, and you don't want to lose any of those to lightning strikes. I mean, those guys are just basically walking lightning rods. So it's a little tough to get them in there, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it can happen. Getting them out's a little tougher.
Yeah, no, I think that maybe after a long day of playing Call of Duty with your giraffe, it's nice to kind of just
Mm-hmm.
get to maybe play some games with your friends. You can play some table tennis, and obviously you have to play quadrant table tennis, because if you're only playing with two hands, then you're not real.
Right.
It's just common sense, but uh, yeah, it's a nice exercise activity, because you got to get your exercise in for the day too, and
Mm-hmm.
if you can look like a Machamp doing it, then I say why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very little known fact that the rules of ping pong, it was originally a spoken tradition. So there's some, mistranslations there. It somehow got to two people with one paddle each, but it really is supposed to be one person with four paddles.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
that's what the original creators fully intended, because that
Mm-hmm.
was back when people use all forearms for athletic activities all the time,
Right.
and it was common knowledge. We
Yeah,
got we kind of gotten lazy since then.
grocery stores eliminated that need. So
So whenever you're actually playing Call of Duty in the house, like there's nothing that I recommend more than the X Shot Nerf gun. It's an unbelievable machine, and you got to get the extra cartridge for it, because there's still no regulations on it, so you might as well until they ban it.
right. I mean, there's no rules in my household, and as many rounds as I can put down range, I'm better for it. I mean, it's just simple math. It's just numbers at that point.
Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, it might slow you down a little bit, but hey, you're gonna get that kid in the eye. It's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah. Who's going to come for you, though? Nobody.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're slow, but you might as well just not move, because nobody's gonna want to come anywhere near you.
Just like a turret. Is this you guys in the picture?
So, little known fact, I'm actually behind the bike in the back with all the packages on it.
Oh,
That was I was on a road trip to Peru, and so it was kind of just it was a long trip. I had to actually take that across the seas, because I couldn't find a boat. Um, it took a while. My clothes got a little wet,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm not sure who that is on the motorcycle.
Right. Well, I have to admit, it's mine. I thought it would be fun
I knew it.
for the kids to make a motorcycle, and their dimensions are a little off, and they put a decimal point where it wasn't supposed to be, and I just ended up with these ridiculous handlebars. But being a good father, I can't I can't accept the gift. So
Wait, so you're meaning to tell me that motorcycle is not for doing pull-ups while you're driving?
I didn't put that into consideration.
I think your kids are just looking out for your health, man.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it is pivotal that all families share a common belief, even if it's some weird, far out there cult that dresses themselves up as chess pieces. It's nice to have something that you can bond with and, talk about around the dinner table.
So this picture is actually from my trip to Peru. These are called the garlic heads. And
Okay.
they actually are a very nice cult. They do worship a garlic king, which is a little strange, I'll admit, and they smell kind of bad, a little weird, but overall nice people. They did offer me a lot of garlic, which I had to decline because too much garlic just doesn't do well for me. But I will say if there's ever a vampire invasion, I'm going to them first.
All right. That's why there's no vampires in Peru.
That's right.
Good point.
So this is actually live footage of us recording this episode. It's
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to get everyone involved in the podcasting business,
Yeah. It's not a family activity if your dog's not involved, right?
Obviously. I mean, most interesting person in the house.
Exactly. and that was one of the greatest episodes that we had recorded. The dog got really into it. He had some great stories to tell, and it got my highest ratings of any other episode.
Yeah, I mean, they're smart.
Please tell me this was taken on your trip to Peru.
Oh, most definitely. This is when the garlic heads got a little rowdy in the streets, and they had to call in the cavalry. There was a bit of a disagreement on how they should handle it, so they called in the SWAT team too, and so it caused a bit of a conflict of interest. Little known fact: garlic heads are actually not immune to swords, and so the cavalry was actually the better option because their garlic heads are bulletproof, surprisingly, and so the SWAT team was basically useless there. But the cavalry was able to come in and eliminate the issue, and it's fine. It did smell bad for a few days, but it was a pretty good trip overall.
Yeah, I think it's important that I take my family to Peru and teach them that sometimes it's better to go back to our roots. I mean, sometimes technology isn't the answer, and you have to just worship the Garlic King and, live free.
Right.
Couldn't agree more.
It's all in the spirit of Johnny Cash, right?
All in the
That's
spirit of Johnny Cash. So I don't know what you like to do on a winter morning, but sometimes me and my sons, we like to get up early and go build snow women, not snowmen, snow
and
women.
great quality.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, they're just so gifted, like art wise. You can't suppress that kind of talent,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. And I actually had to miss this Christmas. This is actually when I was in Peru. This is what was happening back home, in Russia. And yeah, I actually got sent this picture, which I could barely see, so it looked a little bit like they were sitting with a snow sculpture of a dog of sorts. So I was a little confused as to why I looked so excited. But I get it now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Some artists just express themselves differently.
See, now this is a fake image because toilet paper doesn't exist anymore.
Right. I mean, we had to invest in the whole bidet and all that. I mean, once you go with a bidet, though, you don't really go back.
See, I've been meaning to invest in that. I've still been using carpets.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna mess up your washing machine with that.
Yeah, no, I've learned that issue a few times. I'm on my third washing machine already. But this image does remind me of something. It's always good to have an audience. Whenever you're constipated, it just kind of helps things move along quicker.
Right. I mean, you have to support each other as a family.
Exactly.
And that's good times and bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after night of Taco Bell, you might have to talk someone through it, you know. We've all been there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been on both ends of that. That's the last time I used public bathroom, man.
Some homeless man came in and started patting me on the back. It was weird. So museums are actually one of my favorite things to visit with my family. There's obviously the
No, go ahead, tell me.
I mean, it's clear that we need to be well educated, and I mean that covers a wide variety of topics. I mean, the other day we were in the American Museum of Natural History, sorry. And yeah, you know, it was a lot of tumbleweeds and pines.
I've been to the Museum of Museums quite a few times. It's incredibly interesting to see how the museums are made and how they decide what to put in them. I actually it's a very large museum because they have to fit every museum into it, and it's
Right.
very difficult to pull off. But it's worth the visit, I would say.
Okay. Must be where there's a lot of land, like Wyoming or something.
Yeah, it's in northern Montana. Nobody even knows where it's at because nobody goes to Montana.
Right.
But it's definitely it's an interesting site, I would say, in the least. It's almost, I would say, it's almost as good as the Wonderful Museum of Death. That one is definitely my favorite.
I mean, it's a grim subject, but sometimes you got to throw the kids into the deep end. I mean, the wife won't agree with you sometimes, but you know, death is just a part of life. So is horror, and I think it was last year when we went to Paris, they have the National Museum of Horror. Yeah, it's
right.
I mean, it's a little outdated. I mean, they still got like Frankenstein's monster in there, and
the real one.
Yes, the real one. No flash photography, obviously, for
right? Yeah.
reasons.
Wouldn't want to wake him up.
Yeah, he doesn't really have it anymore. He's out of his prime, and I think he should really just hang it up at this point.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, he was really, really good, way back in his day. I used to follow him on the news for a while, but he's just kind of, I don't know. He's getting old.
Yeah, don't call him Frankenstein. He does not like that.
Do you know what he prefers to be called?
I think it's Jerry.
Jerry?
It's just Jerry.
Just Jerry.
He's moved on from his past life. So he's a little bit of a sellout, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It is important to know, as reminded, that some of these may charge an entrance fee. I know that the Wonderful Museum of Death does require a sacrifice to get in.
Right. Just a small one.
Yeah, it could be a rabbit. It doesn't have to be your kid.
Yeah, no. Oh, it doesn't? Oof. I gave my fifth born.
It's what's one more? It's it's just 5.
Yeah. Thanks.
So thanks for tuning into our presentation here.
I mean, the goal of this was to help you, connect with your family more. And in these times, that's really all we got. So
right.
I hope you put these into consideration. I mean, most of these are COVID friendly. So
yeah. No, I would say that I think that we presented a good alternative, a few alternatives to sitting inside all day, and that way the whole family can bond.
Right. Fun for all ages.
That's right.
Of course, yeah. I am
the Museum of Museums got me.
That's good.
I like that so much.
The Smithsonian's the biggest part. I mean.
Right.
Good job. I definitely learned a lot. Hopefully you guys at home learned a lot as well. If you are home. If you're not home, we didn't learn anything. Thank you for presenting that. I'm glad that we're able to get through that as a family, you know?
Yeah.
Now, it should be noted that all of those things are only for people who have families.
Right.
Mhm. That's why I haven't heard of any of those things.
Oh, man.
Now we're going to get into this game called Character Clash, where I give you give me 3 numbers from 1 to 60. I give you a random character, fictional or not, with a random weapon and a random ability. And I'm going to choose a scene where you guys will fight after. And you have to tell me your arguments as to why your character will win. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right, good. Good. So I'm going to have Jordan give me 3 numbers from 1 to 60.
Alrighty. 13,
Uh-huh.
5,
Oh, no.
and 59.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good choices.
Yeah. All right. Brendan, go ahead and give me 3 numbers.
I'm going to say 15,
Oh, no.
21,
Uh-huh.
and 35.
35. All right. So I'm going to start with Jordan. Jordan chose 13. This is the 3rd time King Kong has been a character for somebody. You are King
Ooh.
Kong.
Okay.
And you have, your weapon is deodorant spray.
Okay.
And 59. Oh, boy, you making me scroll down. And you can teleport.
Oh, man. Easy.
So, Brendan, let's do yours now. You are Yoda.
Oh, psh.
No.
And
That's all you got to say.
you have chainmail armor. And I'm going to put this in the chat so you guys can see it too. And 35. You can't stop itching.
Okay.
So let me put this in the chat for you guys.
So, question.
That's Jordan's. Yes.
Does Yoda have access to his force abilities and his lightsaber?
He does.
Okay.
So I'm going to have Brendan, I'm going to have you give me your argument as to why you would win against Jordan.
Okay. So, I think it's no disagreement that Yoda is the most powerful Jedi. So that is already a point in his favor. He is skilled in all forms of the Force, and not only that, he's mastered Form 4 of lightsaber fighting, which involves a lot of acrobatics. And so, in terms of an actual battle, while I acknowledge that King Kong could teleport, Yoda's acrobatic ability and fast reflexes would give him the upper hand because he can sense the presence of King Kong through the Force, and he could be doing flips around him the entire time, whereas King Kong wouldn't be able to even touch him.
I see. Okay, that's pretty compelling.
Okay.
Jordan, what's your rebuttal to this? What do you got in store for Yoda?
Okay. So, sure, I can't argue that Yoda is the most powerful Force-using Jedi. I could argue that Mace Windu is a better lightsaber user, but that doesn't really come into play when you are fighting a ginormous ape. Yes, you are acrobatic, but you're going to have to stop to itch eventually. And I think just sheer size is going to win the battle. And I know you're going to say I can force lift you, but let's be real. Yoda has struggled a few times to lift simple X-Wings. The Senate chambers when he was throwing the things or Palpatine was throwing the chairs at him. That was a huge strain. And Jedis are known to be less force powerful when under the stress of combat. Now think of how stressed you are going to be when a giant ape is trying to squash you and can literally teleport right above you and sit on you and kill you. And I am going to be spraying that deodorant spray everywhere. Everywhere. You are going to be coughing and itching, and it's just no contest. I can teleport.
And
You
you'll smell
cannot.
clean.
Okay, I think that's a fair argument. You definitely have a point in saying that Mace Windu is more skilled than Yoda in lightsaber combat. So
Racist.
I'm going to not go the Force route because while you're right, Yoda has struggled to lift simple X-wings, and Jedi do struggle under stress to maintain their Force abilities. I would argue that while I am itchy and I may have to have time to scratch myself, I may not need that time because of how fast I would take you down.
Ooh.
So Yoda has his chainmail armor on. What the chainmail armor can do is I could basically make myself a living bomb if I needed to. It has been recorded that while he doesn't use it often, Yoda does have access to Force Lightning. Now, it's not Sith Lightning, but it is a similar form of it called Emerald Lightning. If Yoda were to use that on his own chainmail armor, yes, it would hurt him. But if he's able to hit King Kong in the right spot, I'm basically a moving electro bomb at that point. And I think that not only can I use it on myself, but if you were to try to use your deodorant on me, I could shoot your can as well and turn it into a bomb of its own, because deodorant, as we all know, is aerosol, and if it gets ignited, then that's not going to look too pretty for our big ape friend. And so, yes, you may be able to teleport, but if I can just get one hit in with my Emerald Lightning, I think you might be in some trouble.
Right.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that King Kong's greatest weakness is your greatest strength, right?
You mean like the
that was
deodorant?
so poorly worded. I tried to pull it off, but it sounded.
I cannot argue that maybe a simple puncture of the lightsaber would hinder my plans of the deodorant can. That is a glaring weak point. But if King Kong is using this deodorant spray can, can you imagine how big it is? It's got to be pretty big. So, what if I throw said bomb at you? And I don't think Yoda would mistake it and slice it immediately. He's a little more wise than that. But maybe I could use it to distract you to use your force powers. That seems like something that Yoda could stop. And while you are holding your 3 green fingers up, concentrating, I'm going to boot you so hard. I'm going to boot you across the planet. You're frail. You're 900 years old.
You can jump at any time, Brendan. Before
I'm just absorbing all of this, just like I would absorb any hit you could throw at me. But the thing about Yoda, and you're right. If you were to throw your massive deodorant can at me, the likelihood that I would stop it with the Force is high, and that would open up a weak spot for you to be able to teleport in and smack me. But again, I have that chainmail on, which does reduce the strength of hits. So I wouldn't be hurt by it. I would just probably fly pretty far. But as we know, all Jedi, but especially Yoda, are pretty resilient when it comes to taking big falls. So yes, you could hit me pretty far, but the damage dealt by that fall isn't going to be very dramatic. And by the time I get back to you, if I'm able to get away from your deodorant can and get you away from it, that essentially weakens your ability to fight me, because you can no longer use what you consider one of your strongest weapons. And so while I'm acknowledging that I might have to stop every now and then to itch because I still have that chronic dandruff or whatever it is that my 900-year-old scalp is bugging me with, I think that it's the ability of what's what I'm looking for? I'm not the ability, but the capability that I would have to be able to because I'm assuming we'd be fighting in a jungle, because that's where King Kong likes to live. My ability to hide throughout the trees without you being able to find me is possibly another strength that I could use against you, because unlike you, I can sense where you are at all times, and you can have no idea.
Okay. Okay.
That's a very valid point.
All right. I cannot argue against that, but
I mean, you can.
I mean, this I think we skimmed over a whole entire thing, the lightsaber.
Hmm.
And compared to King Kong, that's going to be a toothpick. I understand that it can cut through anything, and you're going to get your licks in on King Kong. But I still think that just sheer size is going to win in this. Yes, you can hide in the forest, but what are you going to do when I'm rampaging and I'm about to step on you and now you've just revealed yourself? If we are in a forest, I will be hucking trees at you. I'm going to be doing what monkeys do. I'll throw some feces at you. It's
Must be
not going to be
big.
pretty. And I think just feral instincts is going to work here.
Hmm.
When you back a animal into a corner, that's when they're going to fight. I'm going to fight till the death. You are going to run away and have to go sit in a swamp for 30 years and eventually just die of boredom or whatever. But
So tell me, are you familiar with the God of War games?
I'm familiar.
Okay, so you know how Kratos prefers to kill the massive monsters that he fights. He stabs them and then rides the blade all down their body. That's what I'm picturing with Yoda and his lightsaber. Yeah, it may not do as much damage as it potentially could, but if I get a high point advantage, and as we all know from Obi-Wan, the high ground always wins. If I
That's
can
right.
climb my way up your body without you realizing it, then I would be able to stab my lightsaber into you, possibly killing you, possibly not. We'll just say for the fact of the argument that it wouldn't pierce far enough to do any long term damage. But if I'm able to ride my lightsaber essentially down your body, it would cause a decent amount of damage, and maybe it wouldn't kill you, but it would at least keep you temporarily immobilized, and that would give me the opportunity to uh, do some kind of trick where I could either use the force and throw trees at you like we saw Yoda do with the Senate chairs against Palpatine. I could use a variety of different force tricks involving uh, giving you hallucinations, because Yoda has been known to do that as well. And we're forgetting one important thing here. Yoda's strongest force ability is he can see the future. So he would know any tricks you could pull up your sleeve and potentially be prepared for them. Now, I will admit your ability to teleport does create a bit of unpredictability, and that would hinder my ability to know what's going to happen next. But I think that clairvoyance would give me the upper hand in any form of physical contact you would try to make on me.
I think you got a point there, actually.
No,
I
I
am
don't think
going
so.
to
If
I am going to call it.
If Yoda could actually see the future, he would have predicted Emperor Palpatine, but he didn't. So your argument is invalid.
Well, that's fair. It was confirmed that Yoda knew something was coming. He should know what it was, because he can see the future. He just can't see vivid details. So he could see that there was a darkness coming, but he couldn't see that it was Palpatine until it's too late.
Alrighty.
Right. So I'm gonna choose here. I think that Yoda would win.
Oh,
He
come
has
on.
a physical and mental upper hand. He does not stop itching, but at the same time, he does. I think Brendan really convinced me with that strategy. So we're literally coming up to the end of the podcast. I hope you guys had a great time, and
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, no, for
thank you for
sure.
coming on.
And just for the record, I was kind of grasping at straws. I think that Kong would wipe the floor with Yoda if it was a realistic fight.
I think Yoda would win. He has the mental fortitude that he would suppress the itching. Let's be real here.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I tried not to mention the itching too much.